Hello, hello, hello again. Hello, YouTube. Another review on a device. Ever since I bought my Morph 2, I was looking for a way to increase the voltage. Not increase the voltage, but the wattage here. Now, first of all, I saw this on the UK Vapors Classifieds. It is a Sigele Kick, which is basically a Chinese knockoff of the original Kick. I thought it was the Kick version 1 because I didn't do much research, I just bought it. Which is a bit ludicrous, but that's me. Anyway, so I bought this, and it goes from 5 to 10 watts. So it goes from 5 to 10 watts, and I used it for a while. I found the connector on the side didn't really connect, so I've got a 22mm mod. Should work with a 22mm mod, but the connector is very, very small. Let me see. You see that silver thing? It's not really in focus, but yeah, that little silver thing there is the connector that's supposed to connect to the outside. It hardly sticks out at all. Anyway, so I don't know whether it was connection issues or what, but I was getting a lot of misfires. I'd press it, it wouldn't work. Press it again, it still wouldn't work. I'd fiddle around, yeah, it worked fine. So I decided to get the proper Kick. Now this is the Kick 2, which I managed to procure from the classifieds again, because I'm a poor bastard, and well, I couldn't justify the price from EVOLV. Now these guys at EVOLV are, I mean, it's just some amazing stuff they come out with, and I hope they continue to innovate. They're only a small company, but they get the orders out, they make the products themselves, and to be honest, US made stuff that I've bought in the past, everything is just amazing. These connectors are just so cool. You've got two connectors, they stick out massively, they're sprung, they're some kind of, they're not brass, but they're definitely, you've got a good connection there. And P. Basardo, he did a really good review on these. He's got all the analytical equipment that you need to test these things. And the beauty of the Kick 2 is that it goes to 15 watts, from 5 to 15 watts, or even maybe even lower than 5. No, it goes from 1 to 15 watts, I think. And the Sigele version only goes from 5 watts to 10 watts. But this thing just is amazing. If you compare the two, there's loads of reviews doing this, but just for comparison purposes, you can see, basically you can see the difference. There's hardly any circuitry in there. There's actually 3 layers of PCBs on here. I think they're all printed, and the connector as well at the bottom. It's so much better. That whole thing is the connector, and these apparently are brass and need quite a bit of scrubbing from time to time. So I would recommend the Kick from EVOLV. I've had no misfires on this thing, none that I can remember anyway. And yeah, amazing. What a nice piece of kit. Very well made, robust. This thing, there's no plastic coating, there's no shrink wrap on it. The Kick from EVOLV just continues to amaze, and you can set it really easily. This one, it's difficult to set because there's no markings really. I mean, there are markings, but it's not very good. This one is marked on the actual blue pot there. This one, there's no marking on the pot, and it's clearly inferior parts, but it's half the price. So you gotta get your vape budget hands out and say this one, that one, you know, you gotta weigh it up, weigh it up, weigh it up, weigh it up. But yeah, I would say it's worth the money. This thing is probably gonna last longer. And even if it's not actually waterproof, but it's splash proof. If you splash this thing and it's live, you know, it's gonna bugger up the electrics or something. Anyway, the Kick 2 from EVOLV, and the Kick itself as well, is supposed to be pretty good. The only problem I've had is if you've got these connectors onto threads, if you've got them on threads, then they do tend to click a bit and click, but they're solid, absolutely solid. You can push that through threads no problem, as long as you don't have to get a nail and a hammer and push it and move it around. Fits in my Morph 2 anyway, and I would presume that it would fit in a hell of a lot of different mods. And also you can modify them, you can add more to the end of the connectors. So yeah, very good buy. And I'm going to get rid of this Sigele because, to be honest, I don't need it. Even if I had another tube mod and I wanted variable wattage, I would go ahead and I would buy an EVOLV Kick 2, no problem, or a Kick, because the Sigele really just doesn't do it for me. But I mean, it's functional, it functions, but you know, I've had too much of a bad experience with it. Maybe it's because I'm using it on threads as well. Maybe it's not connecting with all of the threads or whatever. But yeah, interesting. So goodbye. If you're into variable wattage and you've got a tube mod, I would go ahead and buy that. And also you've got battery protection built in with both units, but the Sigele just cuts the battery. With the Kick 2, at least when you're getting very low, not very low, but reasonably low voltage on your battery, it kind of pulses it, so you know, okay, yeah, it's time to charge. This one just goes to low and then you can't get anything out of it. And I'm thinking it might take the battery lower with a Sigele. I don't know. I don't have any of the measurement stuff. I mean, I've got a multimeter that I could take and do the battery, but it's too much hassle for me. Anyway, one of those things. Nothing else to say about that one. Take care, have a good Christmas and New Year as usual, and hopefully I'll try and get some videos up at some point. I think next month, January next year, I'll be away for a while, hopefully, because it's freezing cold here and I'm turning white as a sheet. It's not good for your vitamin D levels. Anyway, take care, have a good time, and hope to see you soon. And we're out.